Welcome to DefineURadio After Dark Conversations, where real people have unfiltered conversations about the topics that influence the way we think, feel, and move. Each week with your host, Valencia Griffin Wallace.
Welcome to DefineURadio After Dark Conversations. I'm your host, Valencia Griffin Wallace. And today we are discussing love, relationships, and expectations. During the pandemic, let me just throw that part out there. Okay. Joining the conversation is Queen Lyvonne Copeland and Queen Shannon Ward. Queen, say hello to the people.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hello, kings and queens.
Yes. And I'm still going to use that word in 2021. I kind of just don't care. So I want to kick this off by definition of love, and we're taking this outside of parental relationships. So, definition of love. What is love to you, Queen Lyvonne?
Well, I can say that the definition of love for me has changed as I've grown older. So at this stage in my life, love is time, love is quietness, love is stillness, love is intimacy, it is emotional, and it's draining.
That part.
Wow. And she just threw that right in on the end of that.
that part. Well, you said as you've gotten older, so what did love used to be then?
Of course, when I was younger, love was free. It was freeing. It was fun. It was exciting. And I would say it was without responsibility.
Pre-kids?
Pre-kids and probably early kids, I would say.
Queen Shannon?
I would have to say I some of those pieces that Queen Lyvonne mentioned, I definitely agree with. Love for me is peace, understanding, compassion. For me, love is still freeing. Love is not possessive. It just has it's a whole, especially since Corona, it has a whole different vibe for me. It's a whole different thing.
So true.
I think it's really hard to explain because, like Queen Lyvonne said, when you were young, it was, no responsibility. It was, just carefree. It was whatever it was. But as you're getting older, to me, I think I understand it as the actual the bigger non-selfish pieces of it. Love truly is, if that saying, if you love someone, you release them. If they come back, then they were meant, or however it goes. But love is release. Love is freeing. For me, it's I don't have to have you, or I don't have to be in your presence, or be with you as far as relationship, in order to love you. I can love you from afar, and I can still love you deeply, but it's freeing to know that I don't have to be aggravated. I don't have to be what was the word you used, Queen Lyvonne? Draining. I don't have to be drained. So, for me, it's if I feel I'm going to be drained, I'm going to love you and myself enough to not allow either one of us to be drained. So I'm going to free you. We're going to free each other, and we're going to keep it rolling. And it doesn't mean I love you any less, So it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't, I guess it takes me back to that whole attachment thing. I can love you, but I'm not attached to you. I won't be emotionally attached to anybody, except myself. So it's just freeing.
That was so sweet, both of you guys' answers.
Oh God, I'm scared what she about to
I
say.
know, because something just.
Right.
Cause okay, so younger me, not really caring me. Love is like love was very much, for the moment we feel good. I question if what I thought was love was really love.
Mhm.
Um, because love now is, you know, now that I feel like I have real love, love is like I love you enough. I I love you enough to like we in this for life.
Mm,
Period. I love you enough that I care enough about you that we could grow old together and I will consider changing your diapers. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Like I never saw myself growing old with somebody with anybody I've ever been with. And that's how I knew this is love. Love is very much a sacrifice in a way of both of us tired, right? Both of us tired at the end of the day. Who is like gonna finish washing the clothes or put the clothes up or who's gonna do that, and we both could be tired. Love is that, you know, Craig getting up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and being quiet as not to wake me.
mhm,
And then him understanding that if I wake up, that I'm gonna have an attitude because I'm not a morning person,
mhm,
you know. And me understanding that he likes to go to bed early so I could work quietly or try to get in the bed and not wake him up. And I
yeah,
I realized like this Craig is that dude because back in the day when I was pushing out books left, right, and sideways, sometimes, I would literally be up working on a book or whatever project to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And
wow,
knowing that he would have to get up at like 4:30, instead of me getting in the bed because I was dog tired, I would just stay up, half sleep like a zombie at my desk or in my office or whatever, so I wouldn't wake him up.
wow,
That's when I knew. But
yeah,
I love him enough to, yes, I have threatened his coworkers and bosses and stuff like that. Because I know who he is, and you're not going to hurt something I love without knowing that there would be like the hell has no fury like this black woman mad because you didn't hurt something she loved.
exactly.
um I don't know if it's you know what I'm saying, like I worry, and we have certain routines and different things like that, so it's hard to put a definition on love when I'm only, I'm still learning every day
Yeah,
more and more. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have somebody that understands you're crazy, like I told him today, and this is children should not be listening to this show. This is like probably not that show. I don't know. I'm not about to say anything explicit, but I'm gonna say this. I told him today, you know how some women when they have their time of the month, they blame it on how they act. I'm PMS and it's my time of the month, blah, blah, blah. I told him today, I think when my time of the month or every other month, because I am premenopausal comes, I said, I think that's the real me. And the rest of the time is not. I said, I think that, wanting to just, click off and wanting to eat everything and everything. I said, I do believe that's the real me.
mhm,
And then the rest of the time, it's just, you know what I'm saying? But I could tell him stuff and he like he understands. He doesn't ever make me feel bad about how I feel. And like I know that my husband, I'm 99.9% sure my husband would die for me. And I'm 99.9% sure I would die for him. There's
exactly.
always that 0.1%. But and I never had that. You know what I'm saying? Um, love is interesting. It's work and
Yes.
it's the sacrifice. I guess to sum up what I was gonna say. So, going to Queen Shannon, like think about times that you have loved somebody, um, but did not commit or did commit. What's that thing? Let's say, what's that thing that made you say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be in a relationship with this person? Like, what was the difference between relationships and situationships?
Their
Mm.
actions. Their actions. I've never been a person of words. Don't You can tell me a million things out of your mouth, and I watch those words leave your mouth and float off into space. But it's got to be the actions that say, you know, this is really what they want. This is the movements that they're making align with this. So it had to be the actions to say, okay, all right, this dude is saying he wants a relationship. Me being who I am, it takes me a while. Okay, all right, player. Yep, I hear you. Yep, sure. Okay. Um, but it's because I mean at that point to me it's just talk. But until I start to see, the way he starts to move and the way he carries on and is around me and with me and about me. And, I'm a person of small things, the small thoughts that matter to me. If you're out somewhere and you see, I like, I like sage, and you just happen to be at the farmer's market or family or flea market or something. And somebody's got sage. And you be like, oh, she like, let me grab, I don't know if she need them, but I'm going to grab her 2 or 3 things of sage. And you bring them back. I just saw these. I didn't know if you needed them, but I know you usually use them. That kind of thing speaks volumes to me
Okay, well,
because,
think about
mm-hmm,
your last relationship,
mm-hmm,
like your last what you would call a relationship.
okay.
What was that thing that make you say we about to be in a relationship? Like, what was that thing that took that last relationship from situationship to relationship?
Um, Again, it was the actions. It was the simple actions like, the morning text, good morning, hoping you have a great day. And a lot of people say, oh, that's so corny. But at the same time, it depends on how it's said, when it's said, and you can tell if it's like just a copy. To me, at least, I can tell if it's just a copy and paste message that you send it to multiple people.
Yep.
Um, I can, I can
Hmm.
tell, but it's the consistent. It's like you didn't let up. He was he was, he was very persistent in what he wanted.
Mm,
And
say
he
that.
he he stayed the course. He didn't veer off from that, although I would say, man, whatever. And his reply would be like, all right, you'll see, you'll see.
Mm.
And that
So he
kind of
wore you
thing,
down.
I'm not going to say wore me down, I won't say that, but I will say he stepped up and he showed me what it was that was, that he was
So how
saying.
how long did it take him of showing you? I'm trying to help the
Oh
men's.
Lord. It wasn't overnight. And I will be honest, because of past experiences, it probably
Mhm.
took longer than it should have.
Give me a timeline. Weeks.
Maybe no, definitely not weeks. Maybe 2 months.
Shit. All right, so
Listen,
fellas,
I'm not a trusting person. I'm gonna just put that out there. I don't just jump off the edge trusting people. I don't do that. You have to show
what
me something.
fellas, it's www.arrangemarriagebywalencia.com. Queen Queen Lyvonne, what was that thing that made you know, like, yeah, this that dude?
I would have to agree with what Queen Shannon said. One, the showing up, that their actions are lining up with their words. Um, then for me, I would say it's one of the things that I think about with my husband was that knowing that I felt protected. Like,
Mm.
like you said, that I know he would give his life for me. Like I know even now, this man is crazy. That if I say, I have to be careful if I say somebody hurt me or somebody
Yep.
did this to me. I have to really filter what I tell him because he's like, okay, what I need to do. So that level of protection and the consistency, I think
Mm.
that's one of the things sometimes people forget in relationships, that it requires consistency. You can't take days off. You can't all of a sudden decide, I don't want to, think about her. I don't want to do for her. I don't want to care for her. It requires that consistency. If you're going to show up consistently.
Mm. I would say this is why this is such a great show, because I think, we kind of y'all balance my crazy. This is why this is a great relationship. Um, Two things with Craig. I knew that I wanted a relationship that, okay, like that dude, when one day I was having a bad day, or whatever, and I have like the picture. He put a basketball under his stomach, under his shirt, I mean, like sticking it out, and made me laugh. Like silly stuff. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I was like, he is too good and too nice, and I didn't want anybody else to have him. So I was like, I'm gonna stop talking to everybody. You stop talking to everybody. And he had already stopped talking to everybody else. So, but I knew, I like, it was stuff like that. Like he made me laugh, and it's that crazy factor. Like he was all, sweet with me still to this day. But I know, like at the dealership, they know if I come, one thing. But if I bring my husband, they might, it's a whole other thing,
Mhm.
because he got a different level of crazy. You see my
Yeah.
crazy coming. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But like I knew when he understood I'm not a morning person. I prefer not to even talk before 12 o'clock if I could help it. Um like those things that he understood me. I didn't have to pretend to be some nice, sweet, flowery type lady. It's like I'm a lady, and I could be a sailor, I could be a little hood, I could be a little street. And even at one point, when we were still like early in our talking on the phone situation, and I was trying to be like a lady and not cuss. And what happened was, I was living in these apartments, and this man stopped his car in front of me to talk to somebody. Okay. And I blew the horn, and he made the mistake of letting me read his lips from his, side mirror, the B word. So then all of it came out. Like all of it came out. So all of that, me trying to be sweet and stuff like that at the very beginning, when you talk to somebody, all that went out the window, because I went off. I cussed him out. I was like, get out the car. Will cut you. So he knew then. So our crazy matched. Um, do you think a relationship should be 50-50, Queen Lyvonne? Like, do you consider you and Tommy's relationship 50-50?
I can't say I wouldn't say that it's 50-50,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that it's going to depend on what season we're in. I do
Mm.
believe there are some seasons where I am meant to carry more,
Mm.
and there are seasons when he's meant to carry more. And then of course there's those seasons where we're balanced. But that's what makes, a marriage work. You can't be 50-50. You have to be the part that you're needed to play, the role that you're needed to play or participate in that season.
I agree 150%.
Hmm.
Because some days I may only have 25%. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Some days I may need to have 99, you know? Queen Shannon.
I have to say I agree with that. I've always been taught myself, that relationships are 100% on both sides. It's not 50-50. And it kind of, I guess it kind of still, coincides with what Queen Lyvonne said, because at the end of the day, you give all that you have. You
Right.
give what you got. And if what you've got today is 25 and babe, I need you to get this other 75 today. I got you tomorrow, but today I ain't got it in me. But at the end of the day, it's still 100% of whatever it is you have coming from both of you. So you're giving, you're giving everything, because if it's 50-50, that means there's still a 50 I got, still a 50 he got. Where are those going? Where
Exactly.
are the rest of those going? So yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with what Queen Lyvonne said.
Exactly.
Do you think, do y'all think like, okay, so after you've been with somebody for a while, sometimes stuff change. Okay. Do you think that a relationship should keep or has to keep, let me say it that way, has to keep the same level of, times y'all have sex, dates, weight, job? Like, do you think like a relationship should stay on the same level with those things, ladies?
No,
Oh no.
it can't. I mean, you're not the same person, same weight, that thought process. None of you is the same after every couple of years or so. So why would the
Exactly.
relationship stay the same?
Mm. I was watching this. Let me rephrase my statement. I watched it like a hot 1 minute. A video on YouTube, and it was saying something like about how women change after they get in a relationship. And I said, I wasn't going to watch that, because I think that people that say that women don't change or men don't change haven't been in a real relationship,
Exactly.
because there's a certain, things are going to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like us living separate versus us living together, yeah, things going to change,
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to get that out there. So women, if you have changed, now let me say this, and to each his own, people could agree, disagree, whatever. Um, Now if you was a size, if you gain like 150 pounds, I don't even know how to word it. Okay. However, like I do believe in that way. As far as taking care of yourself, you should still do that. Now, the way you take care of yourself may change. You know what I'm saying? Because I know with me and Craig, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to wear different kind of hair. I used to always have my nails really long and pretty, and those things. And I still look good, but just the way I take care of myself is different. I used to wear heels all the time, and
Oh.
you know what I'm saying? Like all of
Mm-hmm.
those different things. But I think it's just because of where I was then. So
Mm-hmm.
who I am now, um is different. I still will, especially right now during the pandemic, but and he'll tell me like, you don't have to do that, you don't have to do that, but it makes me feel better. You know what I'm saying? Do my eyes or something. But like if I look at pictures from when we first got together, I was working like that Valencia and this Valencia. They're not two
They're not
different
the same.
Valencias, but they're different, you know. So that's my 5 cents on that part, you know. And like he used to always tell me then, he preferred my face without makeup, those kind of things. Of course, I wasn't trying to hear it, whatever. But I'm glad he did prefer it, because now I really don't be wearing makeup. I did some work for the skin to get like this. Okay, so the love language, and if you guys are just like finding us, go back to a year ago. I believe we talked about this, like our love language.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a test. I'll probably link it like in one of the sound bites. So you should be following us on Instagram or Facebook, and I probably will link the test, but just Google love language quiz. So mine, when we took the test last year, was acts of service. Now this year, because I printed it, it was gifts, but acts of service was still in there. So it's like 1 and 2 are either they're equal. And that's
Okay.
crazy because me and Craig was talking about that because I'm not a materialistic person. So I was like, well, how is it gifts? You know what I'm saying? Like, but to me, I look at a gift like if one of y'all sent me a card or just a note, to me, that's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like necessarily buying me something. I think it's just more of giving. And I think because I've given so much, that's the only thing I could think about.
I can see that.
Ladies, your results and explanation.
Well, mine used to be acts of service, but now it's
Mhm.
quality time. Um, and I mean, like Queen Valencia said, yeah, acts of service is still in there. But and I think a lot of the reason like my mindset has changed on that is due to um, the pandemic and different things like that. It I've become more in tune with let's just spend time together. And it's not even
Mm.
about the quantity of time, it's about the quality. What are we doing in this time? Is it phones down? Is it just, me and you? What are we doing? Like it can be an hour or two, but that's that hour or two that we're focused totally on each other and creating memories, creating moments that will go with me because again, everything is temporary, but those memories and those when you have those flashbacks, those are the things that's going to last for you. Those are the things that are always going to be with you. So to me, it's important at this moment, like quality time is, I mean, even outside of just like an intimate relationship or, with a significant other, family wise, friends wise, let's spend time. Let's just hang out. What are we going to do? Let's just get together. If we want to get together, laugh and talk, it's the amount of time. So I think, you know, with, like I said, with Corona and the pandemic, it's changed a lot of the perspective of everything for me. Like, because think about it, right? Really, it's not many acts of service, so to speak, kind of, sort of, that we can do a whole lot of. Okay, fine, you can wash some dishes
Exactly.
to help me. You can throw some clothes in, but it's really we're all kind of still we're not stuck in the house anymore, but we're still not back to what we used to be. It's not that where you could just go out and do and whatever. So at this point, the most important thing to me is just getting that time because you can't get it back once it's gone. So
Mm,
spend that time.
love it. So do you classify our pre-show conversations before we actually start doing the show? Is that quality time? Are me and Lyvonne invested or whatever the word is in this friendship? Do you feel like we're giving you quality time?
Yes, that is considered quality time, and the
Oh, okay.
even the simple group text message, that's quality time. That's all of that. Yes,
And
ma'am.
a whole other show. Our group text message is like a whole, I'm telling you.
You keep that quiet. Nobody need to even know about that.
I
Look,
know.
you better have them phones on auto delete.
Oh
Queen
my
Lyvonne.
God.
Well, I didn't retake the test for this before this show. On the last time that we did take though, mine was receiving gifts. And of course I kind of debated that, but most people around me said that they could see that. But I looked at it this way, and I would say the same thing for you, Queen Val, is that I think that it's not so much of just receiving gifts. I'm
Mhm.
I'm a gift giver.
Okay.
So
I
I
agree.
like giving gifts. And so that's why I think that is why receiving gifts was I've fallen into that category because I like to give gifts. And so I would say that for you, I think you are a gift giver, like you said. You pour out and you give a lot.
Mm.
Now, I feel like this time though, when I take the test, that quality time,
Mm,
quality time will be where I would fall into, because as Queen Shannon said, with everything that's going on now, I have had a newfound respect for time.
mm,
Even with seeing people, losing loved ones and seeing people lose loved ones, it just makes me respect how valuable time is, because it is one of those things that once it's gone, you cannot retrieve it. We can try to
mm,
make up for it, but you cannot retrieve it and redo it over again. You can't bring a person back. So time is now one of those things, and it doesn't have to be, like she said, extended hours, but a phone conversation, a text is just letting someone know that you're not only on my mind, but you're in my heart.
mm.
So for me, I think that's where I would end up falling. I can just tell that's how I feel now.
And just kind of throwing this out there, like if I don't at least hear from y'all in that group text once a week, I'm already looking at exit strategies to this friendship. Cause
Lord,
then
here
I
she go.
go,
Here she go.
look, we can't, like, I'm like, oh, okay, so this the breakup now? This the breakup? So
Lord have mercy.
y'all know I overthink, and if it's my time, look, I can't say time of the month no more. I can say time of every other month or whatever. Then I'm like, oh, okay. Ain't nobody text this week. Like and y'all know I'm honest. That's the sad part. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to get some new girlfriends. Not
Which
even no
won't
new
happen.
girlfriends.
I was about to say won't happen because you just not that person. So let's
I
not.
know, like I'll be just lonely. Craig, look, I get to talking to Craig, and real quick, why don't you call Lyvonne and Shannon? He's so nosy.
I
He's so
know.
nosy. Y'all know he can't wait till I get on the phone so he could ear hustle and let y'all know that he could hear.
Oh
I
Lord.
know.
Okay, so acts of service, because I found this in the thing I print out. It says you might find the small things in life important when others don't pay attention to them. And instead of buying gifts, you prefer to show, or I guess be shown, appreciation and love for others by giving them some of your precious time. People with this love language appreciate when others do the dishes for them, cook, drop them off, pick them up. Because I know I hate driving sometimes. That's why I need to be rich. Okay. Not saying I would trust somebody to drive, but I'm just saying, do the grocery shopping, put on their favorite music without being asked, whatever. Um, the language of gifts says, with this love language, you feel the most loved when receiving personal gifts that have meaning to you, and it's not just about receiving either. You love to give to others too. The joy of seeing someone's face light up after receiving a perfectly chosen gift to you is priceless. That's correct.
It is.
So, yeah. So one of the things it says I thought was funny. It says send them cards and letters, um, souvenirs, blah blah blah. Say that stuff. But before we wrap up the show, I am 99.9% sure when we did the show last year that's why I started giving you cards, because if I'm right, isn't that the show she was like, it's just,
Mm-hmm.
I like a
Yes.
gift, but I do like
A
cards
card.
because,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna have to look. Who gonna go back get that show and link it with this one? Cause I, and so since you did make it known, I went and
Included.
got cards, yeah, and started. I do be petty with it because that's
Very
like,
much so.
She sure
yeah.
does. She makes it
Wait,
known. She puts a note, and I've included a card because I know you like cards.
Just ridiculous. That is so ridiculous to be that petty.
wait, Shannon, I sent a card with your bracelet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Hmm.
said, okay, but like if I sent a regular card, like I know y'all don't expect that. I had to send something crazy with
Yes.
notes, okay? And my
Lord,
whole government signature.
Lord.
That way you can't ever look at it and be like, who this from? That's all I gotta say about that one. Ladies, is there anything that you would like to add as far as love, relationships, expectations, especially right now, because I do think during the pandemic, some of that, especially expectations, may need to change a little bit. Is there anything you guys would like to add, Queen Shannon?
The only thing I would like to add, it is 2021. We've been through the pandemic. Here's one thing that I've had to tell myself. Um, it's really not that serious, and just live.
Mm,
Just live. Have fun with it where there's fun to be had. When it's not fun to be had, handle that, but don't overthink it. Don't do too much with it. Just live and have fun with it.
mm. Mhm. If I don't do that once per show, this is not Define You Radio. I swear.
Lord
I
have
swear.
mercy.
For Lord. And to further contact Shannon, possibly you're ready to put in a couple of months or weeks of work.
Oh
Go
dear
to
Lord.
Arranged Marriage by
Well,
Valencia.
first of all, with the pandemic, you got to come with a negative COVID test.
You know
Let's
what?
start right there. Let's start right there. I'm just saying.
Send your negative COVID test results to Arranged Marriage by Valencia.com. I really need to make that a website. I'm
You
telling you.
do.
Because if somebody grabbed that website up, I've like been advertising it forever.
Lord.
I'm just saying. Queen Lyvonne, go ahead, because Shannon, I can't.
For me, I would say my last words or thoughts that I would want to leave with anyone concerning love is to do it afraid.
Mm.
Because a lot of times we experience things that will leave us afraid to love again, afraid to open our hearts again to receive. And love is something that is meant to be experienced. So don't be afraid. Do it afraid. And don't be afraid to try again. Even in the midst of everything that's going on with our world, know that love still exists.
Yay. That's why these are my friends, because they're just so everything, and I will fight behind them. Oh, I'm sorry. How can the audience follow you, queens?
It's very easy to connect with me. You can find me at Lyvonne Copeland on all social media outlets or visit my website at lyvonnecopeland.com to connect. Um, Very easy. Let's connect.
And for
Boom.
me, ShadonMusic.com, Instagram, Twitter, the real Shadon. Facebook, just Shadon.
And you can DM inbox, however they say, her your negative COVID test, and we'll go from there.
No, they send
Um,
those straight to you. You go ahead and you do all the
I gotta do the weeding out
yes,
process.
yes, you
Yes.
handle all of that.
Okay, we gonna work on that part, y'all. So, have you taken the love language test? Do you know your love language? Are you trying to find love during the pandemic? Let us know at the Define You on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have conversations that mean something, especially with the ones you like and or love. Peace.
You have been listening to Define You Radio After Dark Conversations. If you learned something, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with your friends, family, and foes. Make sure you go over to DefineURadio.com and subscribe for monthly giveaways and more.